Today we're going to talk about purpose. But to come to how to have purpose, I think basically, as I understand it, purpose has about 4 parts to it. Purpose has passion, it has skill, it has usefulness for others, and you have reward involved in it. So let me talk about the passion. Your passion will come out of your pain. Now, you can see where that would happen for a lot of people. If you have been, in some way, had a deficit in your life early, then you might want to spend the second half of your life filling that empty void, or righting that wrong, or making sure it never happens to someone else. If you were poor, you may want to be about prosperity. If you were bullied, you might be against trying to set up the conditions so bullying doesn't happen in schools or something. If you don't have that, then you need to cultivate it. And in cultivating something that you're passionate about is a possibility. It's like any other muscle, you can develop passion. And the way it starts is with a bit of interest. And so you take something you're interested in, and then you pursue it. And you pursue it with gusto to the point where it becomes really important to you. And then the more you pursue it, the more profound it becomes. And the more passionate you become about it. Which led to the third thing about your purpose, is that it's useful for somebody else. That's when it starts to pay off. You've been interested, you've developed your skill, and now you're able to do something that gives value to other people. And it can be one of those things that is about focusing on one person, or making the conditions for other people to be successful, or you bring something to them that they've never had before. You can think about what Steve Jobs was noted for, which is bringing stuff that we hadn't even known we really wanted to us, and then charging big bucks, which is the fourth thing. It's once you learn how to do it and do it well, now the world will support you in doing it, which will reinforce the whole process again. You will become useful to the world, and the world will return its thanks. And sometimes it won't be in money, sometimes it'll just be in appreciation, sometimes it will be in feeling a part of. You find something that you really care about, and if you don't have anything you really care about, you learn to care about something. Then you do it well enough, you work at it really hard, and most of the time it will be boring. And as we practice the skills of passion and skillfulness, you become powerful. You begin to multiply. It multiplies on itself. You become somebody, right? It's one of the things you see about people who spend a lot of time in meditation, who are really honest with themselves, who dedicate themselves to understanding the nature of reality and themselves, and they are ruthless about self-examination, ruthless without being too critical, but ruthless enough to see and to change. When you're in their presence, they become somebody you want to be around, because they're like, whoa, there's something about them. They're dedicated. There's a presence that comes. And so sometimes what you do, the very thing you do on a more or less on a selfish nature, becomes a gift to the world around you. And we can do things that are helpful for other people, but sometimes we choose to play small. There's nothing wrong with playing small, but if it is in your capacity to play big at doing good, you will do the world a lot of good. And so those people who are talking about how to be well rewarded in life, the last piece is how many people can you do something good for, and how good can you do it for them? And that's your reward. But what you can do is have the satisfaction that you've used your gifts and created gifts within yourself sufficient that when you went to apply them to the world, you made a difference. That's what you can really spend. You take that to the internal bank of self-appreciation. That's where that work gets its payoff, as you become a gift to the world. So if your passion becomes the passion to know yourself as the divine, to know the fullness of your life, you're going to get a lot of feedback. It's inevitable. It's not, unless you're unusual, unless you were born in a manger, there's a really good chance you're going to have to work at it. But that passion, done skillfully, will lead to helpfulness to the world around you, and the world will support you in your pursuit, whatever your passion is. The incarnation of the divine as you, extended into the way you act into the world, that's purpose. So that's why I think it's good for us to do it, to live with purpose, to know your purpose. And if you don't have one, make one up. And do your best you can to be good at it. And make it useful for other people at some point. And then expect rewards to support you in the process.